Hi everyone, we're starting in about a minute, but I wanted to show my splash screen because I'm also writing a few things about how to begin and organize and end a Periscope session. So again, this is incorporating social media in higher education classrooms. And so if you're looking at this and if you want to engage in the session afterwards, just use the hashtag 55 higher ed. And so that's actually part of a session that I did last year at South by Southwest EDU. And if you have a chance, please make sure that you vote for us on South by Southwest EDU, and I'll tell you how to do that pretty soon. So I am going to turn the camera around in a couple of moments, but while I am turning the camera around, I do want to tell you guys that I thank you for joining today. And then also, if you can just please swipe to the right if you have an iPhone and invite some of your followers to listen in on today's conversation. So just swipe to the right, and then there's a little share button and just or invite button, and invite your followers to come view today's Periscope. Okay, hello. My name is Dr. Jennifer Edwards, and I'm so excited to be on campus today. And also, I just got finished speaking to, well, not really speaking, I'm speaking in a few moments, but I just got finished meeting all of our new faculty members. Oh my goodness, they look so exciting for me because they talked about their research, and they actually sat at my table or a few of them sat at my table, a few of them from social work and soil sciences, and I just love the energy of new faculty members. So I'm so excited to meet and to engage with them throughout the semester. And some of them were really focused on mediation, so that's something I'm interested in as well. So I cannot wait to engage with them. And so I got a lot of contacts and numbers, and I know how it is to be a new faculty member, and in a few days you're starting to create your syllabus and really integrate your books. So this Periscope is about incorporating social media in higher education classrooms, and I have 5 tips that you will see in a couple of moments, but I do want to turn the camera around to my computer screen one more time, and I do want to see like which social media technologies do you use either personally or that you use in your higher education classroom. So I'm turning the computer around now. And I do want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jennifer Edwards, and I am the Assistant Vice President for Student Success and Multicultural Initiatives at Tarleton State. Thank you for the hearts, guys. And I am an Associate Professor of Communication Studies. I'm a graduate of Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston State University. And I am the Executive Director of the Texas Social Media Research Institute. And I'm very proud to say that this year I was selected to be part of this awesome group. I'm a Texas LEAP Faculty Fellow, so that is an initiative from AAC&U, and we have been given the task this year to help inspire and train other faculty members across the state of Texas. So that's something else that I'm working on, and I've been in higher education starting this year over 15 years. So excited to be here this year because, still working on that teaching, research, and service. So let's see exactly where you are. Thank you. And Janet, hopefully people in SA Chat and SA Grad can join the scope. I'm really excited about this. And this is the first time that I've incorporated the computer in a scope as well. But let's look at what you're using right now. How many of you use Facebook? Give me some hearts. How many of you use Facebook? Either personally or in your classes. Awesome, thank you. What about LinkedIn? LinkedIn, okay, I see a lot of pink hearts, just one green. What about Twitter? How many of you use Twitter either for, and you're on Periscope, so of course you use Twitter. What about Instagram? Instagram in your classroom or personally? Okay, so I'm going to ask this next one, and I've hosted like 3 workshops in the past few weeks, but what about Vine? How many of you use Vine? Okay, not as many hearts. So I think the Vine is slowly finding its place. What about Snapchat? How many of you use Snapchat either personally or professionally? Snapchat. Okay, a few. Google Plus, well, RIP Google Plus now, but I still have my profile and I still use the community. So a few hearts on Google Plus. Okay, what about Periscope? Of course, you guys use Periscope. Give Periscope some hearts. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let's go over here. Tumblr. How many of you are Tumblr users? Tumblr. I think we've had our most hearts on Twitter. Tumblr. Okay, what about Blogger or WordPress? How many of you use blogging, or either you blog on a learning management system? Awesome. Lots of blue hearts. What about Ello? Ello, any Ello folks? One Ello user? YouTube. How many of you have a channel or use YouTube in your classroom, or either when you're working with meetings or anything to train people? YouTube is the go-to thing. Yeah, YouTube gets a lot of hearts. What about Foursquare? Any Foursquare people? And I have to admit, while you're getting your hearts together, I used to use Foursquare all of the time because our local Chili's would give you free chips and salsa for Foursquare, and so that's why a lot of us were using it. MySpace. Okay, how many of you were MySpace users? Give MySpace some hearts. Okay, only a few, and they're yellow and a little bit of green and some pink. And Pinterest. Pinterest, how many of you use Pinterest for educating others or getting teaching ideas? Lots of hearts for Pinterest. And then Periscope again, because it's so important. Okay, so let's get into the 5 ways to integrate social media in your higher education classroom. And I'm actually going to zoom in. I use Google Docs for everything, especially when it comes to teaching. And so let me see if I can. Oh, it's right here. There we are. Okay. So some easy ways to integrate social media in your, and this is a first year experience classroom that I presented on, but you can form a social media group for your course on Facebook, or Google Plus groups are great. I actually use those for the students in the Texas Social Media Research Institute, and also on Twitter by utilizing a common hashtag. And for some students who are reluctant in starting a new social media account, or for utilizing their existing account, you could encourage them to begin a temporary account, or a false name, false password, but they would have to let you know what that account is. Also, you can form a class identity via a hashtag. And so the hashtag that we used this year was TSU New Media. And so that was a great way to figure out exactly. Awesome. Thank you. Look up TSMRI. It's awesome. We are in our 5th year this year. And thank you for joining the Doctor of PR. And that class identity with the hashtag is great because you can see exactly who your students are, how they're engaging with the class, and it's a great way to assess the engagement, especially if it's part of your learning outcomes for the course, to integrate with technology. So that's a neat thing. And this is one thing that I like creating after our chats that I have with students. I require that my students participate in 4 chats a semester, and Winston Dawson, and he is amazing. He's one of my students from undergrad, and now he's a grad student that I work with, but he's stated that there are moments where fear and dreams must collide, and he put the hashtag #TatSocialMedia. And so that's really highlighting an important quote that was delivered during that online chat, so I really liked that. And I make those utilizing one of the apps. And if you're interested in what app I'm using, just ask me on Twitter, and I will send that app to you, or the name of the app to you. Also, you can integrate assignments on social media, and it says find 1 or 2 articles on the library databases or Google News about the weekly class topic. And you can post that article on Twitter with that class hashtag, especially if it's something relevant, or if you're researching anything from public health to engineering to teaching to whatever. You can have them take the permalink from the databases or from Google News, and you can put that on Twitter. And so it joins your class archive on Twitter, and the students can read and engage with it. Also, look on Twitter and find an expert in your academic field and ask the expert a question or 2. So that could be an assignment for students. And participate in a weekly Twitter chat, 1 hour, 8 questions every 8 minutes, and you will receive a wealth of engagement. This has been very great for the past few years, and a few surprises actually happen every single time. We might have the author join, we might have a few other people just really engage with our chat that we do not expect to do so. So that actually happened with us last night. We had a chat about college students and doing well in the fall semester, and some presidents joined, some presidents of universities. I was so excited. So that was really neat and unexpected. And this is an example of one of the tweets. We talked about LinkedIn, and this one was question 5. LinkedIn does not allow users to block anonymous users. In what ways is LinkedIn addressing this privacy concern? And so you can see like how many people retweeted that and then how many people engaged with the post. This one didn't receive a wealth of engagement, but I can see exactly who engaged with that post. And so it's just really, really neat to ask them questions. And so this is question 5 of 8. Next, you can embed an expert in a class discussion. And so this is really neat because we had Miss Vernetta Freeney, and I met her at the Blog Elevated Conference in Galveston last year, but she volunteered her time at night to chat with some of the students in my class, and it was neat because the chat only lasted like 30 minutes, but she was on there for an hour and a half answering their questions about LinkedIn, because many of the college students are so excited about LinkedIn. And then here is our hashtag. Also, number 5 is post weekly class reminders on social media, and you can utilize screenshots for messages. So each semester, I always post assignments per week. And so this is week 10, and it says contribute to the book of social media and new communication innovation ideas. And also have like 4 resources to share with them as well. So usually every week I require them to do 2 assignments and then like to read or engage with 4 resources. And so I know that it's cumbersome for them to log onto our learning management system, which is Blackboard, but I always do a screenshot of that and just post it on Twitter, and students can read and engage with it. And then sometimes I will ask them to favorite that post to make sure that they did read it. Next, host a scavenger hunt utilizing the class hashtag. And so we actually have transition week next week. And so one of our amazing directors is, and she's the director of international programs. And so she is going to ask students to engage with the campus by hosting a scavenger hunt during her presentation to 500 or 600 students at one time. So she will ask them to take their cell phone and to go out into the campus and to take pictures. And so she's going to integrate those pictures into a presentation. So hosting a scavenger hunt utilizing a common hashtag or event hashtag is really, really great. And it's a great way to engage. And another thing, okay, do you have a separate Twitter for your class versus your regular page? If not, do you feel that I'll answer the first part while you're typing the rest, but I do not have a separate Twitter account for me, well, actually for my personal. I just use, okay, good one. And do those class postings affect your professional presence? Since I define myself as a blogger and a higher ed professional, I utilize the same account for everything that I do regarding social media and regarding my professional presence. However, I do have a personal blog, and it's more of a family type blog, and it doesn't even, identify me much by name, but, it's more of a family travel blog. So this is something that, I just do as a stress relief, but this is my complete professional presence. So I hope that answered your question. Just give me some hearts if it answered your question. Thank you. And other questions from anyone? And as you're thinking of those, I have a 7th one, and that is to host a, as you travel to conferences and as you engage with the content in your course, so say if it's engineering or business or whatever, or, after you hear a conference session, you can Periscope an interview with a presenter. And so that would be a neat way to engage your students with researchers in the field and with experts in the field, and they do not have to travel to do so, to engage with those key people in the field. So those were our 5 or 6 tips for engaging with social media in your higher education classroom. And please let me know any other ideas that you have for engaging with students. And also, while you're thinking of those, I will tell you that I plan to do a Periscope every single day because we have South by Southwest EDU in Austin coming up, and it's actually a panel picker. So people have to vote on you presenting at South by Southwest EDU. And so I've been very fortunate to present for the last 2 years, but this year is a session that we're presenting on social media and higher ed retention. And so that's for faculty, staff, students, whoever wants to attend, but how we can incorporate social media to help students graduate and to graduate on time within a 4-year time frame. So I hope to scope a little bit later. They will be in chunks of 5 or chunks of 6 tips. Thank you so much to the Doctor of PR, and I will follow you on Twitter as well. But thank you for the hearts, by the way, too. But I hope to do this every day around 2:30 or 3, even when the semester starts. And I look forward to meeting and greeting you guys on Twitter. And thank you so much for scoping with me. Have a great day.